Hello and welcome to day 34 in this PHP web framework series, and still don't have a webcam, so sorry about that, but that should be arriving very soon. And this is part 4 of creating the SSO feature within our framework. So what we were doing last time was I've got the GitHub page right here. Refresh there. So on master, check if something is set locked, user is logged in. So that's what we was trying to do. So obviously this is the master. So on here, the moment it just says no. What we were trying to do is check if user is logged in. Obviously that won't work because, well, we don't have a user object. But even if we don't have anything like so again, bear in mind this is part of the master side. So if we go to here, still says no. Actually, I want to check something on here. Yeah, I've got show cursor. I just wanted to confirm that I had show cursor on here. So let's go back to, also I need to get rid of this because this is complete. It wasn't really anything that was wrong with it. Remember, it was just I was going to a URL that didn't exist, so that was my fault. I think I'll put payment services before data. So obviously not doing that yet, but overview of what the payment service is going to be. Probably just going to be integrating existing payment services like some of the PayPal APIs there. I can't remember what's that other one that's owned by PayPal, the PayPal payment. I'm going a bit off track, but there's another one that is used heavily. PayPal payment API. I'm sure I'll think of it when it comes to it, but yeah, just implementing payment APIs. I think that will be very useful. So we're trying to, something in the user is breaking it, because if I remove that, for example, it will now print out user1 or the array which contains user and a string of 1. Obviously, if I were to, let's say, just put 1 here, that should come up as a number now, and yeah, that's fine. The issue is to do with the user side of it, because if this seriously worked, that would have been, most of it done. But something in here it doesn't like, because in user, if I remove all of this, it still doesn't work. Something in the config file it did not like. First I thought it might be this, but pretty sure when I remove this as well, and in user got rid of that, get rid of all of that, and if in SSO login check I get rid of that, just to print some stuff out. Actually, okay, that still works. So if we go to config, put that back in, that still works. And of course I removed the config from here, so this should break it now. And if I were to remove all of this, remove this as well, see what happens. Okay, yeah, that still does not work. So for some reason trying to require the config file doesn't work, because even though it should be like right there, because it's fine with the cookie file. So in cookie, like, what's so different about the cookie one? Actually, let me try something else. Let me try, instead of require, let me try just require instead of require once, and let me try include instead. Or to remove that, it will work. Include, get rid of that. Refresh, still doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna undo this to the state it was initially in. Index. So this is the slave index. This is the master index, which I'm not touching the master index for now, so I can delete that. Input, don't need that open at the moment in it. Don't really need that. So this is from the master, these two are, as is this one as well. Let me see what would happen if I were to just get the DB file. Yeah, something in DB. But something in config is making it break. What about config does it not like? There's something in config. So if I were to just put an empty class, get rid of this, that wouldn't affect it in any meaningful way. So it's not to do with the user specifically, it's to do with the config. Config. So, because as soon as I get rid of this, even though obviously I haven't constructed anything, so it's not trying to call the config code, it works. But if the config is in here, and even if I were to just do include, so let's say it's optional, still nada. So I feel like I'm almost there with it. Almost. Okay, so if instead of including config, let's say if I include comments, for example. Now comments has config as well. They all have config. Literally everything has a config in there. Error doesn't. I'm going to use error instead. I'm not going to be using error just to see. Yes, A-okay with that. Unless there's another file called config that's actually getting it, and it's not this file. So what I'm going to do is, if I were to duplicate this, clone, and I'm just going to call it underscore. I'm going to call it config2. And if I were to require once config2, that's okay. Regular config breaks. Okay, so if in user I were to get config2, and for the user like so, And if I were to refresh, prints it out. Okay, so it appears that there's another config file. Potentially it may be a PHP config file they're getting, and that's messing it up. I can rename this config file, so I won't have two. I'll rename it if this works. So what I'm going to try is if I were to duplicate this, have one input, get rid of this, uncomment this out, so edit, toggle comment. So this should print something out. Okay, string is 1, so data was 1. So if I go back here, and if I were to put this as 3, for example, this isn't valid data. So post data exists, but it's not valid, therefore it should print out 2. Yes, it prints out 2, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna change this back. So now what we need to try and do is $user equals new, and I can't remember the exact way that we did it, so that's the line that actually this is exactly what I want. So SSO login check, actually confirm on Sonar Inco is still logged in. Okay, it is slightly messing up, but we'll deal with that in a second. So for edit, toggle comment. So I'm gonna put logged in, is logged in, true, else false. Let's see what happened with this. If we even get a response, we just get no. Is it a data is to do with this? Probably to do with this line here. So config to gonna be breaking somewhere in here, I'm guessing. But it might be breaking because of this. Okay, so in the config2 file, for now, it's gonna have it called config2, like so. And in user, anywhere there I use config, replace it with this. It'd be easier if I were to, actually I always do prefer using Sublime. So if I open up this bad boy, paste this into here. Okay, picked it up as PHP, which is good. So I want to detect anything that's config ::, then find all, replace it all with config to ::. Now in here, save that. Nah, that is not good at all. Okay, I'm going to try one other thing then instead. So if I were to have this as __ config instead, if I were to close these two configs down, if I were to delete one of the configs, if I were to rename this to __ that 2 underscores, I believe it is, but let me just have a quick confirm that is. Okay, so let me just check that it's still working by saving this. Okay, that is fine. So this is obviously going to break. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I don't think I use the config anywhere apart from in the classes, but I just want to confirm. So in init, I use the config. Do I use it in here? I don't believe so. So what I'm gonna do now is just open up. Can I just open up all files like so? Nope. So open up every single, and to confirm this is on the master domain, that's fine. So cookie, db, email, error, forum, hash, input, miscellaneous, path, recapture, redirect, session, time, token, user. I already got user open. So now it's going to go through every single one of these. And if there's a config, just put __. Okay, there's nothing in here for it. Nothing in session, nothing in redirect, recapture has it. So path has it. Nothing in input, hash, no, forum will definitely have it. Error, nope. Email will have it. No, yep. Yep. Okay, and I'm going to try refreshing this. Okay. It's weird because it doesn't have the errors anymore, like those errors that we were having, which I think they may have been related to that __ config thing. Methods with the same name as their classes will not be constructed in a future version of PHP. Config has a deprecated instructor. Ah, the warning was like hiding in plain sight essentially. So in SSO login check, if I were to do this again, see what happens. Still nada. Again, is it something to do with this? Yeah, it doesn't like when we create a new user. So if I create a new user, because it's trying to do all this, I'm guess somewhere it's breaking apart. Somewhere in here it is breaking apart. So what I'm gonna try is So let's open up config again. Maybe because we didn't have an exact constructor. Okay. Seems to be okay, because I have to do something with error as well. So let me see what happens if I were to remove all of this. Just the stuff in the constructor. Obviously, if I would put this back in, this would detect here logged in. But even without it, it's breaking. Let me try something else. In here, instead of doing that, what if I just have a variable called user, assign its value 1? Is it still going to break? Nope. Okay, I thought it was messing up because it had a user. Let me get rid of sonar. That should not fix it. Just want to test this because obviously we have changed stuff. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Logging. Okay. Let's just check the console is a good thing. Seems to be a-okay. Yeah, that's fine. Well, that would probably help for me. Well, what the hell is this line? Dollar user equals new, then dollar user. Sort of combine two different lines. Okay. Let me get it to the state it was before. It says false. So this is coming back as false, is logged in. If I were to log out and check this, still coming back as false. Notice undefined index password on index 1, line 20. Yeah, because we're not getting any data like that anymore. Also, I do want a I'm just gonna want to echo out some new lines just so it's easy to see. So yeah, whether or not we're logged in, it didn't work. So let me log back in again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ideally, that should be returning true, like it's set in here. Instead, it's going into the else. So let's go to user, $user. So is logged in. Is logged in. If this logged in, you know what? Instead of doing all this, I'm just going to explicitly say true, just to make sure this method is working the way it should be. Okay, that says true. So is logged in. Okay, so in here, the is logged in should be set somewhere. So if no user exists, session exists, this session name, I'm going to see exactly where it's even getting to. Let me try something else. So in here, instead, if I just put $_ is logged in equals true, it should hopefully just come back as true. Yet it isn't. Because when we do is logged in, that goes to the is logged in method, and that's returning this, which should be returning true. Let me get rid of this just in case this is interfering with it. Nope. Nope, that don't work. And it would help if this was back to __ equals true. We'll get rid of this. Okie dokie. Let me just check the time. And okay, 27 minutes have passed so far. I'm just going to pop to the toilet, and I am just going to go and get myself some green tea as well, so just bear with me. I'm back. Just bear with me if you hear some noises. I'm just placing some mugs down. And just closing the door. So let's get back to it. So where were we at with it? So we constructed it. I wonder if it's to do with the error stuff. So if I were to get rid of error and get rid of the contents of the constructor method, save that. Obviously that's going to mess up, that's fine. But in here, if I were to set that to true, still returning false. So what's happening is like covered before, I went to get some tea and go to the toilet. When it hits this method, this is always false. Actually, that's how you need to set it. So if I go back to here, if I were to get rid of this, so set that to true, that breaks. Does not like that. Wi-Fi have nothing in there. Likes that, but it doesn't like this. Ooh. Ooh la la. What about? Okie dokie. Is it even getting within that config? Obviously my SQL should be enabled because considering it's logging in. So in the configs, yeah, that would be enabled. I'm not going to go into the DB config because obviously that has certain information that I don't want to share. But it's obviously enabled because of this. If it wasn't enabled, this would never work. So if I were to just get rid of, let's say this, put that there. Apparently that just totally messes it up like so. Crazy how much that would just mess it up. So if I refresh, yeah, that's fine. Because if I were to go into the user session, in users, yeah, none of them are social users. So if I were to go to Google users, nothing in there. Facebook users, nothing in there. So something here is messing it up. No, I don't think it's in here. It's in, because this seems a-okay to me. But when we're trying to construct it, actually, let me try and construct it with an ID. So let's do ID of 9. User 9. Is logged in, is still coming out as false. Still going into here instead of here. Is logged in and returning false for some reason. put that. Okay, yeah. This seems to be false. Config get MySQL enabled. The way forward to do sonar / like so. Maybe that's what's required, but we got the sonar here, so that shouldn't be. Apparently that does mess it up then. It's almost as if it's getting into this. So if I get rid of the contents, I'll save that, refresh. If I get rid of this, so what if this is true? So yeah, that would just be returning true or false, but it's whenever something is being set, it's just totally freaking out. It's just like, nope, don't like it, don't want to do it, please don't make me do it. That's what seems to be happening. So let me get rid of this. Make sure this is still a-okay. This is gonna be, it's okay, but again, it doesn't explicitly, it doesn't work. The is logged in method isn't working, so there must be another way of getting this done. Let me think for a moment. Okay, so if instead of user, put DB, and if from DB we actually create a database object, so if we do something like this, this is just about checking if this will, maybe just going straight to the database ourselves. So if I get rid of that, this is just to confirm it's working so far. Okay. So we've been able to get a database instance. As far as I'm concerned, I think that's what we've been able to get. I believe so. I'm going to try something. If I were to do $_ this $count equals 9. Okay, that didn't break it. Okay. So if you were to do a query now, so we're gonna so if we were to do this essentially, and here, if I were to put $db, so if we get in from table name, this is going to be I was going to get something from users for now. Users, if ID is equal to 9, is that a valid ID? Let me have a look. Yep. I need to obviously assign that to something. $info. Let me confirm that this is still working. No, that's broken down now. Okay. This has broken. So $get table where ID is equal to 3. If I were to just return 5, for example. It's okay with that. It's not okay with trying to perform the action. That's what is messing it up. If I were to get rid of this, so I'm gonna guess it's something to do with this particular one. So if I save, refresh, if I undo that, that's messing up. So if we go to the query one now, something in here is messing up. So if I get rid of that, save, refresh, it'll be a-okay. And I think it probably is that line there, but let's have a look by getting rid of this. So it's as soon as we're doing something with the PHP data object. See, I don't think it's even getting into here. Config. If I open config, yeah, the class name hasn't been changed. Well, that's just the folder name that configs is. So again, it's working a-okay on the master. So seems like nothing broken on the master specifically. It's when we're trying to interact with the master from the slave. So then user. If we go on here, for example, so if the session exists, then get session. If not, find. That's it. So only if the session exists, which I'm assuming it does. So in session, what we got, what does our session exist do? So you just check if a regular session exists. Let me open up a config. Session name is user. Let me try something else then. Let me try and circumvent it by doing If I were to explicitly just grab this and in here were to just put that, and if I were to just put user sonar session, just want to confirm that this doesn't break here and it's still working. Okay, they're still working. So if I were to put that into here, parent else false, that returns false. So apparently this is returning false. Just to confirm, that is the session name. So session name is user okay. In the session, I'm just, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna do grab this instead, just to see if it's a session class issue or not. I think this should be a square bracket. So yeah, go to put that, should still get return false. So that session doesn't seem to be existing. So if I were to just explicitly just put that as the data here, no. If I were to put session user equal 9, I'm going to try something else. I remember was it init? You have to enable a session to start. Confirm that this is still working. The session contains nothing. Init, session start. Doesn't mean anything else is explicitly required for the session. So if I were to comment this line out, still works actually. PHP cross-site session, cross-domain PHP sessions. Yes, this is exactly what I'm after. I've used OpenID to implement this in the past. Basic idea is to have single authentication domain provider. Whenever one of the size consumer wants to authenticate the user, they redirect them to the authentication domain. If they aren't signed in, they can log in using whatever details you require. If they already logged in, even from a different target site, they don't have to log in again. The user is then sent back to the target site with the addition of a token in the URL. Token is used by okay. I'm gonna, I think, try a slightly different approach. Actually, yeah, I might try a slightly different approach. Instead of from the slave, like this one, trying to do this, I think if this is a slave website, it'll redirect to. So if I go into wrenchworks.co.uk, in the is logged in, that something like that will physically redirect the website to Sonar Inc.'s login page. If it's already logged in, you'll direct back to the original page with some sort of thing saying true, and actually set the session. I might try going down that route instead. What time is it? Yeah, I'll probably leave that for the next session. Just going to do a bit more research into this. Cross domain, PHP session across subdomains. This is the same link we was on. Oh, it was the one that was on before. Yeah, I might try that. Let me have a look into exactly the way Google does it. Because obviously, when we go onto like a Google page, it would. Does YouTube redirect to Google? Let's have a look what that is. I think that's what I want. I want to exactly know, is Google doing this? Are they actually physically redirecting, or are they using some other magic trickery through Ajax or something? how does Google Authentication work? Okay, so start code prompt by website share secret key plus system key stamp equals X cryptographic hash function equals unique code prompt entry at prompt authentication. Okay, user login request to that's not really helping for what I want. Okay, web application requests user sign in, opts to sign in with Google, perform discovery on Google address, respond with XRDS document. How does Google use SSO? There's a chance that I've just been going about it the wrong way in terms of trying to do this, and instead maybe I should just be redirecting with the original source URL and eventually potentially some extra pieces of information as well. Because if, for example, I were to go on to, let me just open up Launchpad, Safari. Yeah, let's do new private window, so make sure nothing logged in. So if I were to go to youtube.com, for example, if I click sign in, it takes me to accounts.google.com. So in here, it's got identifier, so the service, so YouTube. So it's got basically what language, what country you're from. UILEL, pretty much sure what that is. Passive equals true. I think that's to do with. Nah, I think it's to do with this follow location. I don't think it's to do with that. So let's just continue. So continue. That's just saying where it came from, I believe. So when you would sign in here, it would redirect you. So if I were to go to gmail.com, so the redirect has done something very similar. mail.google.com. Yeah, I think I might try that method instead. So now what I'm thinking is, because obviously I've done these few changes, in all fairness, the changes aren't immense. This page is isolated. Index, this is to do with the slave one, which can be commented out. This underscore config realistically doesn't need to be fixed because we are getting deprecated errors, so I'm actually going to leave that. Apart from that, nothing else has changed as far as I'm aware, so I'll just use the domains that we've got and just, again, we won't cancel. We won't directly be accessing this page, I think, and we'll just be using, we'll comment this out when we click login. I guess will take us to the other thing, but still trying to figure out Firebase Auth. Yeah, the Firebase is of any use for what we want. And besides that, let's see if it's even got PHP, JavaScript, Google sign-on. Oh, that anonymous login. Let's see what that is. Interesting concept. And what is how does single sign-on authentication work? Quickly go through what this ain't. So, user browses to domain1.com. Ask for login info and authenticates user. Stores cookie. Browses to domain2.com. Asks for login information and authenticates user. Okay, so this is the non-single sign-on scenario. Okay, so same origin policy forbids this. Using a centralized authentication domain. So user browses to domain1.com. It redirects to authorization server. Redirection to authorization server. Typical SSO. So user goes to domain1.com and redirects. Either user logs in or cookie is available. Because what I'm trying to wrap my head around is if we, so for example, if I go to rangeworks.co.uk and if I click login, yeah, that was explicitly taking me to the different page. So yeah, if we go into rangeworks.co.uk, for example, and I click login, that's one thing. Like if I go to youtube.com, not logged in, click login, it takes me to the Google candidate. That's fine. The user has clicked login. But what if they go there? If I'm logged on Google, it's gonna have me logged in. So what I'm trying to figure out is how do I do the redirect? Again, is it like a hidden thing or do I just explicitly redirect? Because you never see that. Because I've used it on like low internet speeds and like you go to the YouTube or Gmail or whatever and you can't see that it's going to another page. So I'm just thinking, is it going to no? Because if I go to YouTube, for example, it doesn't seem like it's. Can I have a look, see if I can make any sense of what they've got going on in here. So console, don't care about that. Sources. is is this of any use? Okay. Here is how it works. So, user login to domain1.com and follows the usual login process, enters his or her credentials. User browses to a different domain, domain2.com. Domain2.com can redirect to an authentication domain in the background. Yes, it's in the background. Let's say auth.domain1.com. This happens while the page is loading before any content is displayed. Since the user is logging at domain.com, he is redirected back to domain2.com with the proper tokens. These two is logged in domain2.com. Now, what would happen if domain2.com is redirected to auth.domain1.com and the user was not logged in? A special authentication flow can be set up for SSO, always redirecting the user back to the requesting domain, even this way the user is not forced to log in. Okay. Yes, it seems to be like the person seems to have a similar question to what I'm having. I want to describe that the redirect need on each request or to do requests behind the scenes. Also, the user. Yeah, okay. YouTube does redirect to however, what you want to do may be possible using iframes and interframe communication. There's a associated with those techniques. Redirects do not happen on each request. They happen once to establish the session, and that's it. Anonymous. See what that is. Some sort of diagram. Think so. Some sort of image. Yeah, the same image that I've just seen above. Okay. So, is this link of any use? Okay, so this link has helped, so I'm going to put this in here. So this is a useful link. So for the next session, what we're going to do is click login on slave, redirect to master. For that, slave automatically redirects to master and back again to see if it is noticeable. And then if not, click login on slave, redirect to master, get tokens for login into slave. Okay, so leave that as it is. And yeah. that is it. Okay, so this has been day 34 in this PHP web framework series. Thanks for watching. We'll be getting a webcam soon. Sorry about that. If you have any questions or you want to contribute, feel free. Really appreciate it. You can communicate via YouTube, comments, messages on our education platform, sonaonline.co.uk, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, links are in the description as usual. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. And I will see you in day 35.